All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Giants Sports Talk Live morning edition here this Friday morning. Got a couple of words for you, Glenn. 2 hits.
Yeah, what happened? I was having a traveling day. I'm here at the hotel. I'm heading back this morning, Eric, to the Bay Area because I got Giants baseball with the Miami Marlins tonight. You know where I can get a Miami hat, though? I might have to go in disguise. But anyway, on that note, what happened yesterday? I had to listen. It's rare I don't watch the game. I had to listen to it from start to finish, traveling in the vehicle on KNBR. The announcers seem like they're growing old of this routine as well, Eric. They didn't seem happy. Then they start making excuses, the umpires' calls, blah, blah, blah. Bottom line is, at the end of the game, I went, wait a sec. Didn't they just say 2 hits? You don't deserve to win a game with 2 hits. And there was a lot of other shenanigans on, wasn't there? They stole home in a game yesterday and all kinds of BS.
Yeah, there was a lot. I mean, come on. You can't blame the umpires because you remember the umpires for both teams. It's both teams suffer that. It's not looking. The umpire's not picking on one team. The umpire's going to be bad. He's going to be bad for both teams. And stop with that blaming stuff. If the team's bad, it's just the way it is. The team's below.
I'm just saying. I think it's rough for the announcers at this point of the season.
It is. It's got to be.
What do we do?
It's got to be.
They got to drive into the ballpark or travel in this case with the team, and you're like, oh God. You know. Now I know how the White Sox feel and how the Colorado Rockies feel, and they're riding out the rest. You imagine getting up and go to work every day, Eric, and knowing your job's just sucks. That's kind of in the boat they're in now. They're like, you know, we get paid to do this. Otherwise, this really sucks.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, it's got to be a rough day yesterday. 6-0 was the final score. Birdsong, he kind of was moving along okay. They said his sinker was dipping and everything was – and then
his changeup was nice. And then it just imploded. Kind of same thing with Harrison. You know, he went 4 strong, and then after that, he got into the 5th inning and kind of.
Yeah, I believe on Giants Sports Talk Live just 2 days ago, you predicted that, though. You predicted maybe 3 days ago. You said the youth is not going to do well on this road trip.
I had it. And, you know, and I even said you should have started Harrison against Seattle instead of giving him that extra day of rest. Seattle is a worse hitting team than it was with Milwaukee, and then maybe they could have look. Would it have changed the outcome of what the season's going to be? Probably not. But you're not setting a guy up for success. And you know what? If you're trying to get something out of him, set him up for success. That's all I ask. You know.
Yeah. So Birdsong out 3 and 4.
Yeah. I'm not asking. Look, I'm not acting like I know everything by any stretch of the imagination, but just by seeing how Seattle was hitting, I think that would have been a better choice for Harrison to go in Seattle. Oh, well, it is what it is.
Well, we're below 500. Birdsong's below 500. Everything is just keeping the regular pace. So what are you predicting that we're now? I know we'll talk briefly about it off the back. We're going to take a look at all the games today in Major League Baseball. That's what this show in the mornings is all about. But we're playing Miami.
Yeah.
And you actually think they might win this series as opposed to I only think they win 1.
Yeah, I think they win with Snell and Webb going at home. I think those are the 2 games that they win. If they don't win with Snell tomorrow, well, then that's a whole different situation. I don't know if they can win because it looks like they're going to either do a bullpen or some type of modified bullpen with that second game because of
the second game is tomorrow. Snell goes tonight, Eric, so they got to win tonight.
They have to.
Yeah, tomorrow's the makeshift game.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my bad. That's right. The second game.
All right, let's jump into it. It is finally Friday, and that means we've got a full slate of action, fresh teams hooking up, meeting up, heading into the weekend, Eric.
Yeah, let's take a look. Early game this morning. Matter of fact, just in a couple of hours, Glenn. Milwaukee at Cincinnati. Wow. Milwaukee is going to be able to make some hay here. You know, Cincinnati's not exactly playing all that great. You got the Brewers against the Reds. Colin Ray versus Nick Martinez with a very early start here in the Pacific time. So, yeah, Milwaukee may be still in their winning ways. We'll see.
Got the Braves up against the Philadelphia Phillies. Lopez and Suarez will meet. 3:40 this afternoon. Over-under is 8.5. Philly is the favorite. Atlanta continues to win. Smoke and mirrors. How they're doing it, I have no idea. Should be a good ball game, though. Atlanta, Philly, looks like it's going to be a good game. Tickets, $25.
Good pitching a good pitching matchup as well with Lopez and Suarez.
Isn't cheap to get in. They're gonna rake the Philadelphia fans. Tickets as low as $25 isn't that low compared to some of the other teams.
Some of the other games. Here we go. Boston Red Sox at Detroit Tigers. Again, Detroit throws out another undecided. They've done that a lot. Since we've been doing this, it seems Detroit more than half the time has an undecided pitcher going. A little bit weird. Tanner Hook. Tanner Hook going for Boston Red Sox. That one's going to take place 3:40 p.m. Pacific. Boston should be able to do some damage against Detroit, but you never know. You never know.
This afternoon at Great American Ballpark, Cincinnati Reds, they'll take on the Milwaukee Brewers. We know what they're all about. Just watch them for 3. Milwaukee is 77-56. They haven't announced who's going to be pitching. Rhett Lauder, he'll pitch today for Cincinnati. Cincinnati's been scoring a lot of runs. Milwaukee quite capable. So let me check quickly the over-under in that game, Eric, because if you're a betting man, maybe that's the one for you.
That undecided's got to be a little bit weird.
The over-under is not released because they don't know
it's
who the
undecided.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. And that looks like it's a doubleheader, as I said, 9:40 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah, back end.
Game 1. And then you got the second game, so we'll see how that
Lauder going in the back end. Yeah.
In Washington, you got the Chicago Cubs, Shota Imanaga going up against the Washington Nationals, Jake Irvin. Imanaga's having a good season. We'll see how he does in Washington. Washington, actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they won the series against the Yankees. So it's not like Washington's pushovers. And Chicago, they're in some winning ways. They're ahead of the Giants. They're kind of in the thick of it and trying to get that third wild card. So we'll see what happens there in Washington.
Just before 7 o'clock tonight in the Dome, Tampa Bay, they're hosting San Diego. That game will be broadcast on Apple TV. It's a 3:50 start in the Bay Area. Perez and Bradley. Tickets $5. They're begging people to go to Tampa Bay's games. The Rays, Padres, should be a good game for San Diego, but it's baseball. You never know. St. Louis is in New York today. That's going to be a good one.
Should be a good one. St. Louis, they're trying to get in the thick of it as well, but it's going to be tough against New York. You got Eric Fetty going for St. Louis, Marcus Stroman going for the Yankees. It's going to be tough for St. Louis. Again, they're just ahead of the Giants, but when you're going against the Yankees, man, that's going to be tough, especially in New York.
Yeah, Bailey Falter. He's 6-7. He's a lefty. He pitches for Pittsburgh, and he'll be throwing the ball today against Ben Lively of Cleveland. That one is 7:10 start. If you're in the Bay Area like us, 4:10 afternoon game. Cleveland, they're building toward their postseason. They're 76-58. Pittsburgh, they're just about out. We'll take a quick look in a minute at the wild card standings. Pittsburgh, actually, Pittsburgh gets a little hot. They could pass the Giants in a week. So you just never know. That one today, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, 4:10 start, Bay Area time.
And you got the Oakland A's in Texas facing off against the Rangers. You got J.P. Sears, who's been having a good year for the A's against John Gray. That game really doesn't mean anything because both teams are out of it for sure.
Sears played well against the Giants just a week ago.
Yes, he did. Matter of fact, he faced them twice, once in San Francisco, once in Oakland, and both times he did very well.
Kansas City's at Houston, Seth Lugo, and Framber Valdez, 5:10 start. Who cares?
Yeah, that'll actually be a good game, though, for the simple fact that both of them are playoff contenders.
Yes. I never get excited.
New York Mets. Oh, look at that. Look who they get to face. Chicago White Sox. Mets may be able to make some ground up against Atlanta Braves. We'll see how that works out. It's going to be on ESPN Plus, 5:10 p.m. Pacific. You got Tyler McGill going for New York against Jonathan Cannon for the White Sox. New York may be able to put some distance between themselves and the Giants, but will they be able to catch the Braves? I guess we'll find out.
Geez, not too often you see this on a Friday. Must be the dog days coming into effect when you get teams that have some extra days off, Eric. I was going to say, hey, an Atlanta loss and a Mets victory against those woeful Cubs, the White Sox. Atlanta's not playing today.
No, they're not. Wait, they are. Philly.
Oh, they're playing in Philly.
Yeah.
That is an early
That's going to be
game.
tough.
Why? I was looking at the night schedule, Eric. These early mornings kill me. All right. Let's take a look at it. What game do we got next here?
You're at Minnesota.
Kevin Gausman, our old pal, is up against Pablo Lopez. That one at 5:10 Bay Area time. The Blue Jays, they've struggled as of late. Gausman, I would say Gosman for the most part. Not a bad year for a bad team. 12-9, Eric. 4.10 ERA. Lopez is 12-8, 4.26 ERA. That one at Target Field in Minneapolis. It's going to be a nice night there. 276 degrees, light winds directly to center. Minnesota is the favorite to win that game. Gosman, though, 12-9.
Yeah, how about that? And then you got Baltimore. Baltimore's getting a little rest, playing in LA. They didn't fare too well in LA, but now they're heading to Colorado. Again, Colorado is not an easy place to play. Talking about the location, ball flies, but you got the Orioles facing off against the Rockies. Got Albert Suarez going for the Orioles. Austin Gomber going for Colorado. The way that the Baltimore swings the bat, there may be a lot of runs being put on the board on this next series in Colorado.
Yeah, and Baltimore suffered that 6-3 loss last night in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. They'll be happy to get out of there and go against a lesser foe, if you will, in Colorado.
Yes.
Seattle, familiar time zone. They're just down south in Los Angeles to play the Angels. Well, I wonder if any of them play. I've always wondered, do you think any of them go to Disneyland?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
Family day.
Yep.
Well,
I wouldn't
be
surprised.
Mariners are going to be on Apple TV tonight. I'm never able to find the games on Apple TV. I guess I'm smart enough. I stick to the games on the regular TV, ESPN, FS1, NBC Bay Area. But if you can find it, good game to watch. Angels, Mariners, George Kirby for Seattle. And let's see. Sammy is pitching for the Angels. Aldeguerri.
We'll say Aldeguerri. Yeah, that's where I was going. Aldeguerri. Yep.
You knew what I was stepping in there, didn't you?
I knew exactly where you're going.
I said he's not going to rescue me. He's not throwing me a life preserver. He's letting me drown on this one. Dodgers. The Dodgers were playing Baltimore, I mentioned. Dodgers won last night. Now they head out on a road trip, and it won't be an easy one, Eric.
No, against Arizona. Now here, can Arizona make some headway? Arizona and the Padres aren't too far behind the Dodgers for the NL West. Let's see if Arizona can do some damage. We'll take a look at the standings before we get to the once we hit standings, we'll look at the divisions to see how far actually they're behind. But they may be able to make a run. We'll see what happens. You got Clayton Kershaw against Zach Gallen. Should be a good matchup. Clayton Kershaw isn't exactly the Kershaw of old, but he could probably still go out there and take care of some business. And Zach Gallen, he should do well for Arizona. So we'll see how that turns out in Arizona. Should be a good game.
Absolutely. Kershaw, you don't know what you're going to get with him. He is not the Kershaw that you used to face. He's 2-2 in his brief starts so far this season. Eric, 3.72 ERA. Zach Gallen is 10-6. And the highlight matchup for us tonight. It's the late start. San Francisco Giants are hosting the Miami Marlins. I will be there. I'd like to say for the baseball. It's going to be a drone show afterwards. Adam Aller for Miami. Blake Snell for the San Francisco. Just tell it like it is. Blake Snell for your Giants. Anybody know where I can get a hat? A Miami hat?
We'll see if he makes an appearance.
I'll put the funny nose and glasses on, and I'll go after Conte. Anyway, Miami's in San Francisco. It's always great to get to the ball yard. I'll be doing that tonight. In fact, I'll be going to most of maybe all three. I know you and I are going to be there on Sunday for some baseball. Can't wait for that. Going to be a great weekend of baseball. Of course, we're on tonight. Giant Sports Talk Live a few minutes after the final pitch at Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcast.
Absolutely.
I will see you then.
And check this out. We got the standings real quick.
You want to do the standings?
Diamondbacks are only 4 games behind the Dodgers. So depending how this series goes against LA and the Diamondbacks, they inched their way a little bit closer to the NL West. We'll see how that works out. And then real quick,
we were running short on time. Want to take a quick look at the National League wild card before we run out of time here?
Yeah, let's do that. Got the Arizona Diamondbacks in the number 1 wild card. Padres number 2. Braves still holding on to the number 3. Mets 3 games out of that 3 spot. Cubs 5 games out. Cardinals 6. Giants 6.5. So instead of leapfrogging other teams are leapfrogging the Giants. So it's not.
And earlier in our discussions of the games today, as we do each and every morning, Eric, I said teams like Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, don't count them out. perhaps down and out, not going to get in the wild card. No postseason berth. But don't count them out when it comes to surpassing the Giants in 2 or 3 weeks, especially with the Giants going up against all 500-plus teams.
Yeah,
it's going
to be tough.
It's tough for this casual fan in the month of September, and it's here.
I know. It's not going to be easy.
September 1st,
all right, guys.
Sunday.
Yeah.
I'll see you at the ball game. I'll see you tonight after the game right here in Giant Sports Talk Live.
Absolutely. All right. We'll see you guys tonight. 10 o'clock-ish, somewhere around there. See ya.